sending out a high number of applications does not increase your chances of getting a job. It might be a bit hard, but it is the truth. Sending out a high number of applications does not assist in getting a job. What does assist is sending out better applications. So let's figure out what makes a good application, because once we know how to do better applications and we do more of these better applications, then we're increasing our chances of getting the job. You need three things to be able to make a good application. Number one, you need a job description, you need a cover letter, and you need a professional CV. Now, going step by step, if it was an exam, getting a job is almost like an exam, which is then the marking scheme is the job description, because the hiring managers, the companies have told you clearly what they are looking for. We are looking for someone who will come in and do these responsibilities. They should have these qualifications. They should have these attributes. So you already have the marking scheme, and you just need a cover letter to be able to specifically tell the hiring manager that, yes, I am the person for this job. So the purpose of the cover letter is a highly customized application letter for a specific position that will get you picked. Now, I picked a random job description for an accountant, and if you were to work in this company as an accountant, your main work will be to review and establish proper accounting systems, support budgeting and forecasting activities, and liaising with internal and external auditors. If you're sure that you can be able to do exactly that, then somewhere in your cover letter, you should have a statement that reads like this: I have the ability to review and establish proper accounting systems. In my previous employment at ABC, I was involved liaising with internal and external auditors. Such that when they read these statements, like, yeah, this is the person we are looking for. Now, a cover letter is always customized to the position. And once you send it, then you can be able to attach a professional CV to back up what you are saying. And that is where I want to put a little bit more of my focus on writing a professional CV. Now, most of us have CVs, which is basically a documentation of where you went to school, where you have worked, and a list of your responsibilities and probably your referees. This is quite valuable information to you, but it does not really make sense to the employer, because a professional CV, on the other hand, is a document that you use to market yourself. Think about an organization having a new product. They are bringing it to the market and they want to sell it. They will use billboard, newspaper. They will use magazines, radio, television. But me and you don't have the luxury of putting a billboard about ourselves and our skills. So we need to be very clear in our CV that we are selling. We are selling our skills, capabilities, our qualification, and employer and our experience to the employer. And that is what we need to focus on. From a famous study, it is said that it takes about 6 seconds for a hiring manager to decide if they're going to read through your CV or not. My question is, does your CV pass this 6-second test? Let's figure out if it does, yeah? I want you to take a look at this CV. This is a CV for a gentleman called Daniel Mutuku, Kenyan, married, date of birth, I can see there, default telephone number and all that. Now, should I give you like 6 seconds or less? And when you're looking at this CV, imagine that you're the hiring manager. The question is, what can this person do? Can you figure out what this person can do from this CV? And this is what we call above the fold. Basically, it is a terminology that came from the newspaper. When you fold the newspaper, whatever is above the fold. When you're dealing with email, you are sending your application through email. I don't necessarily need to download your CV to be able to look at it. I can just preview. So when you preview the CV, whatever is on top of the CV, without scrolling down, that is what we refer to as above the fold. So above the fold, this information, what can this person do? Unfortunately, we cannot figure out what this person can do. And this is where the 6 seconds is lost. Yeah. We give this person a benefit of doubt and we go to that section that is called career objectives. Yeah. Probably most of you have career objectives. It is very relevant. You shouldn't have your career objectives in your CV. You know why? Because your career objective talks about where you are going rather than what are you offering. Because The concern of the employer is, what are you bringing on board? Why should we hire you? What makes you a valuable asset to us? So I want you to take a look at some of these career objectives. These are career objectives that I've seen on people's CV, probably even in your CV if you sent it to me, and I've seen them over and over. And I want you to look at them and ask yourself, do this career objective resemble yours in style or in tone or even word for word? Take a look at this first one I've seen so many times. I am seeking employment with a company where I can grow professionally and personally. Now, as a matter of fact, this statement here is very selfish. The employer is asking, what are you bringing on board? What can you do for us? And you're busy telling them what you want to gain from them. Another statement I've seen, I'm seeking challenging opportunities where I can fully use my skills for the success of the organization. Again, good wordings, but still not saying anything. I want to succeed in a stimulus and challenging environment that will provide me with advancement opportunities. Again, being selfish, not focusing on the employer. I want to excel in this field with hard work, perseverance, and dedication. Again, wordings, but still not saying anything. So I want you to stop focusing on your career objective. The whole job application process is not about you and what you want to achieve. Rather, it is about you and what you want to achieve. So think about this section as I'm still using my phone as my light and at the same time as hotspotting. So hopefully that will not interrupt the conversation. Okay, moving on. So I want to suggest to you that you replace those career objectives and put a personal branding statement. Assume that you are looking for a sales leader or a sales manager, and you read the CV, and the personal statement that you find on top of the CV above the fold is something that reads like this. I am a steadfast, committed, and passionate sales leader with over 4 years relevant experience. I have worked with ABC Company as a sales team leader. I have a proven track in meeting and surpassing targets. In addition to that, I am an intuitive and attentive listener, readily uncovers customer needs to offer viable and enticing solutions. So, asking you, if you're the hiring manager and you're looking for a sales leader or a sales manager, would you consider hiring this person? Yeah. Yeah, because in general, this statement has summarized the person's experience, it has summarized his qualification, it has summarized what value he's bringing on board and the key skills that he has. So that would be the direction that I want you to go. So think about these sections when you are planning to prepare a professional CV. Number one, you should have at least the contact details. Way on top of the CV, first have and restrict it to only your contacts, your name and your contacts. Yeah. And in this case, when you talk about the contacts, it's just your email address and your phone number, because this is the quickest way that they will be able to reach out to you. Then followed by your personal profile, a short, crisp paragraph summarizing your whole CV. For those who are old enough, when we used to listen to KBC Swahili service for the news, yeah, when they were starting the news, they would have something like habari kwa ufupi, then habari kamili. So your personal profile is basically that habari kwa ufupi, yeah? Just giving them a sneak preview of what the rest of the CV is all about. You want to lure them in, you want to whet their appetite. And once they have been hooked, they will actually read through your whole CV. You can follow it with your education background, focusing from your most recent towards the oldest. And here you need also to be able to acknowledge your academic qualifications and professional qualifications, which most people sometimes confuse them. Then you can come back and mention your job-related skills. Now, there are some general soft skills that you need in the workplace, leadership skills, organization skills. But when it comes to your job related skills, if you're an accountant, there are certain skills that you are good at and you want to showcase. If you're an engineer, you'll have totally different kind of skills. You are in business management, different jobs will have different set of skills. Then you can list about your experience. Again, start in a reverse chronological order, starting with the most recent, talking about the name of the company, the position you held, the time in between when you're there. Talk in general about this responsibilities that you had, but even more importantly, you should actually start with your achievements. What are the achievements that you've done in that position? And think about achievements as things that you did over and above what is expected. Yeah, with responsibilities, these are someone in that position in that company will still can copy and paste those responsibilities and have them. But when it comes to achievement, these are very unique to you and what you have done, the contribution. You can have a section to add any additional information that will make your application more have more weight. Think about any leadership positions, awards, training, workshop. They might not be directly related to your current career, but put them there, they will add value. And of course, have your referees, people that they can call so that they can give the same kind of say, whatever we are seeing on paper, this person is able to do that. Okay, now we offer a free CV review here at Career Point Solutions. So I want to welcome you to submit your CV for free review. Just go to www.careerpoint.co.ke/CV review. Then you'll be able to submit your CV. We'll take a look at it and we'll give you feedback. My email address is daniel@careerpoint solutions. I think I'll share it as we continue. But for now, before I go to the interview sections, I want to answer, is there anyone who has any questions in regards to CV writing? I might have dashed through the session, but I want to pause just for a few minutes and answer any questions that you might have. Okay, battery is running low. I think the rest of it I'll go through. Any question?
There's Sarah who's raised her hand.
Okay.
Sarah, could you speak up?
Okay, thank you so much for this opportunity. As I was going through, I was thinking like, okay, when you send a CV, how should you format the format which you'll use? Will you use Microsoft or PDF? Because I've realized when you look at your CV through phone, you realize they don't look the same way like on your laptop. So I'm wondering also on the other side, like an employee, if he sees how should we save it so that it just looks exactly like when you're typing it.
Very good question, and it has a lot of weight. Let me say this: of course, when you're formatting it, you use Microsoft Word, but you save it as PDF and always send your CV as PDF. Why? Because PDF does not get distorted, but when you send it as Word, depending on which application they are using, it will be distorted. It might be shorter, it might be long. The format is thrown up upside down. But with a PDF version of your CV, whichever device or application they're using to view it, it will be standard. So always send your CV in PDF. I can see questions are coming and this laptop is going to go off. So just allow me to switch now to my phone. I will not have the presentation, but I might also miss all the questions that are already here, but don't worry. Yeah? But you can still ask the next question.
Yeah, I think I can read for you, Daniel.
Yes.
There's this question by Robert, between education and experience, what comes first?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and then...
I would say this, let me just answer that very quickly, yeah? It depends. What is it that you want to sell? I know we are in a society where, and many of the people are working in jobs that is not what they went to school to study, yeah? So in that case, I would ask you, what is it that you're selling? Are you selling your experience or are you selling your education? So I did, my qualification is in education, but I ended up doing sales, maybe in an insurance, and the next job I'm applying for is for a school. So in that case, I want to sell my education because I did education, yeah. But if I am applying to another insurance company in sales or somewhere, and my experience is what is more relevant, then I would advise put the experience first, then talk about the education later. Got it?
Okay. Thank you. And then there's this question, what's the difference between a CV and a resume? And probably you can also respond to this together with that. Is it advisable to put a passport photo? Okay. I think we lost David for a minute, but you can keep posting your questions in the meantime. Just hold on for some few minutes. I'm sure he will be returning back. I think it's the problem with, we had a blackout. So he's trying to juggle using a phone. But please feel free to post your questions. I'm sure once he connects back, he'll be able to respond to that. Yeah. I think he's connecting right now. Daniel, can you hear me? Hello, Daniel.
Hello, can you get me?
Yes, I can hear you. Sorry about that. There are some few questions that were posted.
Hope you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you. Sorry about that. Probably you can respond to this question. What's the difference between a resume and a CV? And is it appropriate to add a passport photo?
Okay, let me start with the one for, okay, let me just say the difference between a CV and a resume. Unfortunately, in our situation, we use the two interchangeably, but they mean two different things. Number one, a resume is a one-page CV. It's like a summary of your everything you put in the CV to fit in one page. But a CV, on the other hand, is a little bit more detailed than a resume. But unfortunately, most of the time when we are applying or you see a job application, they might use them interchangeably. But I would advise always send the CV, unless they have specified we want a one-page resume. Is it advisable to put in a passport photo? I don't see the need of having a passport photo, because the question is how your photo. It has nothing. It has no implication in terms of, it does not say anything in terms of your ability to work. So unless you're doing, it's a job about modeling and your looks might matter, but in other professionals, having a photo, it doesn't add any value. Just get rid of it.
Thank you. Maybe you can respond to this question, then you continue with your other presentation. Then probably you can respond to all the questions later on.
Yes.
When you're requested to send a cover letter, should it be attached on the email body or should it be like a PDF? If it's a PDF, then what should you write on the email body?
Okay. Always you send your CV together with your cover letter. Even if it is not mentioned, you're told to send your application, then make sure you include the cover letter. So the cover letter, this is how you send it in form of in an email. Take the title of the job that you're applying for and put it as the subject of the email. So applying for the position of accountant. Then copy and paste the cover letter to the body of the email, so that whenever this person opens the email, the first thing they're seeing is your cover letter. Now, why is it important to mention on the subject line the position that you're applying for? If it has a reference, also put it in the subject line. Because the hiring managers, the HR, they receive thousands and thousands of emails and CVs. If there's an open position, you have seen already on average about 250 emails coming in, and not even counting the unsolicited for emails that are coming in. So you want to make it very easy for them to identify your application. And secondly, when they open the email, you want to make it very clear, this is the application, you go straight to the cover letter. So that is the body of the email. Then you attach your CV. Always attach only your CV. Unless it has been asked for anything else, don't attach anything else. Hopefully that was helpful, so we can be able to move on, right? Then yes, we can take other questions as we proceed. I know we'll have even more questions when it comes to interviewing. So if you've done a very good job in terms of talking about what you have seen the job application, you have written a very good cover letter to fit the job description, then you have attached your CV, which has more evidence of what you have said you can be able to do in your cover letter. Then the next logical step is for you to be invited for an interview. Now, when you are invited for an interview, apart from the typical way you need to prepare, you need to do research about the company, all that is important, but I want to focus on three things here. Number one, you need to show up dressed for success. Now, probably you are told by your mom, your dad. I was told that I should not judge a book by its cover, and probably you have been told that. But unfortunately, we do judge books by their cover. We make our opinion about other people just based on how we see them. So if that is something that is going to happen, and you know it's going to happen, why not use it to your advantage? Dress appropriately, make a good first impression. Now, when you dress appropriately for an interview, two things actually happen. Number one, you feel good about yourself. If in my day and age, when you were young, we used to have that thing we call Sunday best. And when you wear that Sunday best, you even feel good about yourself. And that is what happens when you dress for success. Ladies, be professional. Have that, is it a skirt suit or a trouser suit? Gentlemen, you don't have any other option. Put on a suit. If you don't have one, invest in one. Have that tie and a coat. Show up for success. You will feel good about yourself. The second thing, you will make the other people have a different perspective, or the assumption, or they are making conclusion about you. So you are ensuring that it is in a positive light. They are not doubting who you are. There is a concept called beauty supremacy, where you'll find that people who are well-dressed, or ladies who are even more beautiful, or it doesn't necessarily mean being beautiful as a lady, but you're well-dressed, you tend to have a much bigger advantage rather than someone who is just there. Not well-dressed, not badly dressed, but they're just there. Number two, you need to show up early for that interview. In my case, when I'm doing interviews for myself or for other organizations, when I'm doing the recruitment, I don't give a second chance to anyone who shows up late, irrespective of how well qualified they are. So showing up early is important. Why is this important? Because number one, you are sending a message about yourself and how serious you are about the position and how you do your work. You better, I always advise, arrive there 1 hour before time. Even if not going, of course, to the offices that 1 hour before time. Be there, hang around, go to a hotel, take a cup of coffee, relax, breathe in, breathe out, rehearse what you're going to do for an interview. Even if it means you need to, if you are not familiar with the place, you better go there a day earlier just to confirm where the place is and how it looks like. You might be planning to, you have been told board the matatu number 23. There are two types of 23 in town here. One of the 23 will take you to Westlands, Kangemi. The other 23 will take you to, is it Outer Ring? So you are very late, you're very rushing, you get into a 23, only it is taking you to Outer Ring Road, while you're supposed to be going towards Westlands. So even if it's going earlier the next day, it's important. We have 246, one going through Hurlingham and Kawangware, while the other one is going to huruma. So familiarize yourself, better show up early. And the next thing, it's about, you need to be able to think through what are some of the questions that you are going to be asked in an interview, and start practicing and rehearsing what are you going to say in response to the questions. Now, it is not a script that all hiring managers use, but I can assure you 99.99% of the interviews that you will go, you will be asked the question, tell us about yourself. That will be the first question. And how you answer that question will set the pace for the rest of the interview. So the question is, do you know how to answer that question? Other questions that will come in: how much should we pay you? What is your salary expectation? Why should we hire you? What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? Why are you leaving your previous job? And all these kind of questions. So it is important for you to think through these questions, rehearse, practice, stand in front of the mirror, answer these questions. And then when you go to the interview, you are in a much better position. Now, you might be wondering, why should I rehearse? It will sound very plastic in terms of how I respond. From my experience, I've come to learn what you plan to say, or whatever is in your head and you want to go and say, usually don't come out exactly as you had planned it in your head. And most of the time it's towards the negative. It didn't come out in a nice way. So it's better for you to prepare. And when you say it in a different way, it is a much lesser version, but better than if you decided to wing it. So when it comes to interview, those are the three most important things: arriving early, dressing for success, and thinking through some of the questions that you might be asked. And maybe as a bonus, I would add this when it comes to interviewing, that from research, 90% of the communication takes place non-verbally. Only 10% of the communication is done through the words that you say. So you should be able to think about your body language, how you carry yourself, how you position yourself, talk, open up, use your hands, rather than being coward, timid, and just closing up. So it's important to think about your body language. I want to give a chance to two questions in terms of what are some of the key questions. Let me say one, then I'll go to general questions. What is the number one question that you have always dreaded being asked, or whenever you are asked that question in an interview, you don't know what to say? Because I want to engage each one of us here. So I want you to go to the chat and type in, what is the one question that you always get a hard time answering in the interview? Then we will be able to see which one has more votes. Yeah. So David says, what is your weakness? Let them come. We'll just do a quick, like a quick tally, and then I will answer one. I'll guide you in details. Then I can tell you where you can get the rest of the question. Okay, David say, what is your weakness? I can see Roy talking about, what is your weakness? Why should we hire you? That is Joshua. Rachel, tell us about yourself. More Ira, talking about who are you. So who are you? The same as tell us about yourself. Why should we hire you? Why did you leave your previous job? How much do you expect to be paid? What salary do you expect? Okay, salary expectation. I think that one has 3 votes so far. Anyone more? Why should we hire you? Why are you leaving your previous employment just after 1 year there? Okay, that is again David. I don't know who was leading us. Can someone just do a count and tell me which one is the most popular question? Then I will take you into details on how to answer it. I can see another one here. What is your greatest challenge in your career progression? Nice question. Thank you, Anne.
I think the questions are quite varied. The weaknesses, what are your weaknesses? Why should we hire
weaknesses,
you?
I think that might be.
Sorry?
I think weaknesses were 3 and another one. I think, David, are you repeating the question? So let me do then 2. What is your weakness? And I think, why should we hire you? Those are the most common one. But here's the thing, yeah. I am not going to leave you out to dry. I have a YouTube channel, and in the YouTube channel, I have actually done so many videos in terms of what it comes to answering questions in an interview. I like do separate videos for specific videos. So if that is something that will be of interest to you, please check me out on YouTube. There's a whole playlist on interview question and how to answer them. You'll be able to get more details in that in the channel. Yeah. And of course, once you get there, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel and you press that bell button so that you can be getting notified every time I'm releasing a new video. So let's start with the weakness. Yeah. When you ask, tell us about the weakness. One of the challenges is we are very good at answering about our strengths. But when it comes to the weakness, that is where you start scratching your head. So 3 main guidelines on how to answer that question. Number 1, do not lie. Do not say you don't have a weakness. We are all human beings and we all have weaknesses. So have that straight out there. Number 2, think of a real weakness. I don't want you to give a fake weakness. I know there's this school of thought that says, think of a good weakness and tell people that something like, I really work hard. So you want to create the perception that you, what is it? That you will work hard, you are a workaholic, and once they hire you, of course, they will get the best of you. That is a good way to think about it, but a good hiring manager has seen this kind of responses day in, day out, and they will pick that out. So then what do? I would say, think of a real weakness that you have, but a weakness that will not affect your work with the job you're doing. If you are applying for a customer care service and the question is, what is your weakness? And you're busy saying there, I am short-tempered, I get angry very quickly. Again, that doesn't really work well. So what I would say is something like, yeah, I am not very good at public speaking. That is a weakness, and it needs to be a real weakness. You don't need, again, to manufacture weakness. But once you say the weakness, what are you doing about it? So it can't be something like, I am not good in public speaking, or I am very short-tempered, I get angry very quickly, or I have been called out for leading from the front and I end up doing everything. Yeah. But then what are you doing about it? And I've realized this tend to affect how I work, and I have done this course, or I've joined this group, or I'm doing this to take care of that kind of weakness. Yeah. So if it is something to do with the public speaking, I'm not a good public speaker, but I've realized that that is affecting how I'm sometimes perceived when I have to go present the company. But I have joined Toastmasters just to improve my public speaking skills. And actually last term, or last academic year, or last quarter, I actually volunteered to do the report for my team or something of that sort. Yeah. Hopefully you got that. Then the other thing I would say is, yeah, that is for the weakness. Talk about the weakness, let it be a real weakness, and then what are you doing about it? That's okay. I think the other question was, why should we hire you? Now, this is just an opportunity for you to resell yourself, making sure that you are literating, you know what they are looking for, and you can be able to provide that for them. Just go back to say, these are the kind of skills that I have. This is what, this is the kind of experience that I have, and I can be able to come in and help you do this and that. So you're just literating, again, the key skills, what they are looking for. And yes, you are showing them that you are the best candidate for that position. Hopefully, I was able to do that. So let me finish up by saying this. Sorry, well, put this one to some volume. Okay, good. So I think that is it when it comes to why you should hire. Let me finish by saying this when it comes to the interview. Try as much as possible and make it a conversation. It is not just a place where you go and do Q&A. They ask questions, you answer, they ask questions, you answer, and then you believe that, yeah, you will be able to get that job. So have it as a conversation. From research, of course, people are more willing to hire people they like rather than people who they don't perceive as likable, and they are more qualified. So you want to be perceived as someone who is likable. And there are some things that you can do to be able to influence your likability. So this will include something like smiling, maintaining eye contact. Do you know, actually, when you tell someone, I like you, the message that you're sending is that I am like you. So try to figure out what are the different ways that you can use to show that you are like them. You understand them, you share the same values, or you stand for the same thing. What you should do in an interview when it comes to salary, don't start that conversation on salary. Number two, don't just tell them, I am here. I just want this job because I have nothing else to do. Don't just go and say, I have bills to pay. Actually, everyone has bills to pay. So you are not unique in that case. Don't start talking about, I am a single mother, I am a single father. They have nothing to do with your singleness or the single father or being a single mother. And that you should not be trying to secure a job from a sympathy point of view. So always focus on the value that you're bringing in. In this day and age, of course, with the COVID and all this, you should now start considering how do you prepare for a virtual interview. And when you know about virtual interview, of course, you need to test the technology first in advance. You need to make sure that the mic is working, the camera and all that, so that you are not there. You are to start your meeting at 8, and that is when you're trying to set up. Of course, try to be in a quiet place and some place that you can be able to have the conversation. So those are the additional stuff that I thought would be important for me to mention, especially when you're preparing for an interview during this day and age of COVID. Over to you. Any question?
Thank you, Daniel, for that. I think if there is any question, people can just chat because of time. I don't think we will give everyone an opportunity to talk. So kindly share your question or feedback or comments. I'm sure there is something that you've learned. Probably you can also add there. And Daniel, maybe you can write your YouTube channel. Should people want to follow more? I mean, get more details and learn more from you. They can just check your YouTube channel. Yes. Thank you. I think just with that thought of virtual meetings, virtual interviews, Daniel, maybe you can just highlight how people can prepare in this season in terms of preparing themselves adequately for a virtual interview. You know, this is a new thing for people. Probably if you can touch on that a bit, how should they put the camera? Should they put their video? And things like those as we wait for feedback.
Okay, I will say this, yeah? Okay, I'm just trying to, when it comes to virtual, treat it as a normal interview in terms of preparation and what you need to do. Dress properly, be ready for the questions. But maybe the only addition would be thinking about the technology, yeah? Be sure if it is Zoom, you are on Zoom or you have downloaded the app, you make sure that you are in a place that you have steady internet and show up early so that you can test the technology. Now, the other thing would be, of course, it is very good to have your video on, but at the same time, think about your background. This would not be the best background for an interview because it is a busy background. But I like your background. This should be, I'm just trying to see, where the background is just clear. It is white, or yeah, that is Angela. That is a much better background for you to do an interview. Not busy, not so many things running up and down. And again, Yeah. So think about that. What is in your background, and then a place which is quiet. You don't want to be in a place which is noisy. You're busy telling, okay, sorry, I didn't get that. What did you say? And such stuff. So, in addition to preparing for a typical or an interview, in addition to that, I would say, and make sure you think through about the technology and the environment. Treat it as a normal interview. I know there's that aspect that have what do you call it? You can be official up and then you can relax, waist going down. I wouldn't say that. I would say still put on dress fully well, because you are also, you might subconsciously just forget and stand, or you have to go and check something, and of course that will put you in bad light. Got it?
Yeah, I think just to make sure that Daniel has responded to you, please just post a comment or in the chat session. There's this question I think two people have asked. After the interview, when you're told that you'll be called after a week and they don't, should you follow up? Do you do an email? Do you do a call? How should
when you're told?
When you're told that you'll get feedback after the interview, after a week's time, and they don't respond to you, should you follow up on an email or call, or what should you do? Daniel, we kind of lost you. Okay, I think he's a bit frozen. Yeah, I think there's a question.
Now that is a very good question. Thank you.
We are losing you, Daniel.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yes, I think someone was calling me. Now, it starts, first of all, how were you able to set up or how you did in the interview? Sorry, just this setup here. Okay, good. Remember, in an interview, most of the time you'll get an opportunity and be asked, do you have any question for us? That was usually a good opportunity for you to be able to ask a question like, I would also like to know, when are you planning to finish the recruitment process, and when do I expect maybe feedback from you? That gives you, again, the basis for you to be able to follow up. If you didn't ask the question, but they said, yeah, we'll get back to you in a week's time or so. If they don't get back to you, it is important for you to follow up and use an email. It's always good to follow up. Use an email. It is more subtle and just it's not very aggressive. If they don't respond to the email, send a second email 1 week later. And if they don't respond to that, consider yourself unsuccessful.
Thank you for that. And then there's this question from our YouTube viewer. How long should a standard CV be?
A good CV should be between 2-3 pages. I would say on average 3 pages. If it is too long, let it not go past 4 pages, and only on the 4th page you have your referees there. But a good CV on average should be 3 pages.
Thank you for that. I think we don't have more questions, but just to encourage all of us, thank you, Daniel, for the time, even with the struggle, with blackouts. I know most parts of Kenya today rained. Thanks for still trying to fix yourself in terms of showing up. We really appreciate your time. And thanks for coming back again. Of course, this is the second time, and I'm sure even in the course of time, we would love to have you again. I think Matthew, I'd like to invite Matthew just to give a closing remark. Maybe then, before we close, what are your closing remarks, Daniel, when it comes to this whole process of recruitment? What is your best advice, especially in this season where a lot of things are changing? We are no longer returning. I mean, we have a new normal of adjustment and all that. What will be your encouragement or a challenge to our viewers today?
I would say this, that it is important for you to know that the job application process is not just about you, but is about how you can be able to help the organization. Don't have just a bunch of facts in your CV and your cover letter, but try and translate those facts and figures into value in the eyes of the employer, so that you show how you're coming in to bring in value. In this day and age where things are changing very fast, it is important for us to be to be flexible and adapt as quick as we can. If you have lost your job, I know it is very hard, but it does not mean that there are not other companies that are hiring, probably even the same position. But try and see what can you be able to do to add value, so that 2 years down the line, you're not still looking for a job. And between 2020 and 2022, whichever year it is a blank space. Find a way to add value to yourself. Sign up for a course. There are free courses online. There are some which are paid for. Engage in something. Look for volunteer or be even if it's a free intern or anything it might be. But just make sure you make use of this time. Rather than sit down and complain how hard things are, do something about it. I would also want to say, I do release a lot of videos that can help you to progress in your career. I think I've dropped a link in the chat which shows like the playlist for interview questions. I also have more videos on writing CVs, cover letters, and other aspects on career development. Make sure you click on that link, go to my YouTube channel, subscribe, and be getting the notifications. And yeah, that is all I would say for now.
Okay. Thank you, Daniel, for that. We really appreciate that. I think just to encourage every participant today, I think whatever we have learned and you know of somebody, please reach out and help somebody improve on themselves, because this world needs people who can point you to the best direction. So if you're going wrong or you're applying without a clear path, you need somebody to help you improve yourself. And I think, just as Daniel has mentioned, at the end of the day, once you get the job, do your best. Sometimes you don't need to look to other places, but if you can improve yourself even in your current place, you can get even better opportunities. I'm sure that will stir you up and make life a bit easier for you. So I'd like to invite Matthew just to give us a closing remark. I know our time is up. And thanks to every one of you who's done this. Kindly follow up on the YouTube channel that the Royal Mentorship has, and join the WhatsApp group if this is your first time and you like to know more about the programs that the Royal Mentorship offers. Please join the WhatsApp group and you'll get much more details. So Matthew, briefly, just give your comments and release us. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Angela. And everyone, the over almost 50 people, I've seen so many people here tonight. Asanteni sana, and more specific, I appreciate Daniel in a big way that you could make it despite the challenges. In fact, you have done much, way better than I have done. I have similar problems like yourself, no power around. And that's the reason as to why, for those ones who are hearing my voice for the first time, please bear with me. I also have a face, only that you'll not be able to see it tonight. I'm in total darkness, and well, my lighting is not the very best at the moment. Yeah, but I hope you can hear me well, loud and clear. Yeah, I think KPLC just decided to do us stuff tonight, but yeah, God is God. We have had a session. I've tuned in, I've listened through, I've learned a lot. And I really, really appreciate you, Daniel, and especially for coming a second time. I do not take it for granted that I noticed you are here back. You are here 8 months ago. I can't imagine it's been that long when you talked to us about leveraging LinkedIn for job opportunities. And I was sampling some feedback earlier, and there's several people saying that they were able to revamp their CVs, rather their LinkedIn profiles, and they have been able to get invitation for jobs just as a result. And even I think it was just a few days ago, I was chatting with a few guys, and the way they were giving us feedback around that session, the way, in the process they have just discovered is not a social media site like any other, where you just go and post anything and they land it through here. So thank you. And tonight, again, has been a great eye-opener, writing a CV properly, answering the interview questions. Those are the things that we always have a problem with. They create jitters within and a magic watumbo. When you tell us about your weaknesses, you are like, my goodness, I might just spoil everything I've just said right now. I will start saying that I run mad sometimes. And it might be true by the way that you do, but I guess that's not the kind of answers that people are looking for. So I think the wisdom to answer the questions right, so that you also don't destroy everything that you've learned. So I want to believe that all of us have learned a lot. And for those ones who came midway, I've shared a link there, YouTube channel. Our YouTube channel, just go listen there. You'll be able to find the whole program, and subscribe, share, subscribe to Mutuku's channel, subscribe to Royal Youth Mentorship channel as well. So thank you very much. Angela, I really want to appreciate you. On a very short notice, you've come in a big way. People might think that you have always you've been preparing, or you've always done this every moment, but I know you always come in handy when I call upon you. Thank you very much. And for those ones who have joined this program for the very, very first time, it is not the first time that we have done this. We've been doing this since April 2020. This, in the next 2 months, we'll be clocking a year, and we have loads and loads of programs we've done, over 100, inviting great guests like Mutua here, and many others, talking about career, talking about business, talking about online, venturing into online space and making, money there. Legal safeguards for your business. We had that was with the lawyer Charles Kajama. Politics, a little bit of it, about leadership with the likes of PLO Lumumba and many other leaders we have had here. The future, of work with Professor Bichange Demo, the likes of. We have had so much. So that's what I'm saying. Tune in and also follow. Join the WhatsApp group, because we have much more that we have learned in the past and that we are planning in the future. I can only tell you, 2021 will be great, and we have started at a very high notch. If you didn't know how to revamp your CV, now you do, and I want to believe yours will be a great year. We've also launched somebody tried to call me. I hope you can hear me. One-on-one mentorship program that we are in the process of recruiting. So once you join the WhatsApp group and you would love to get a mentor, just post there that you would be looking for a mentor, and I will get you, the link so that you register. And also, if you would love to be a mentor, what we are doing is that we are tapping from the wisdom and the expertise of each other. You might be good in an area where you feel like, if I get somebody who is in 4th year in the university, I can mentor them. If I get somebody who graduated, I can mentor them. But you also, on the other hand, might be feeling, I need somebody to mentor me on how to, to get my business to another level. So fine, you can even join as a mentor and as a mentee at the same time. So we are linking people with the right people. We want now to get even to that level of relationship where we get you, we handhold you, we get somebody hand-holding the other to, to their destiny. And that's the essence of this mentorship. I know the whole of last year, we were doing it on Zoom this way, and we have had a lot of impact, but now we even want to get it a notch higher and take it further. Last thing I say, so that I end, on we do this every Saturday, 8 to 9 p.m. So you are welcome to tune in. You will be getting the poster for the next session in the next few days. Next Sunday is what date? Anybody shout it? Does it mean anything to you? Or somebody is asking, kindly resend WhatsApp link. Somebody reshare the poster, the poster I had done earlier. Okay, I'm asking. Does somebody remember next Sunday is what date? 14th. And it is Valentino, isn't it? Valentine's Day. And this is a youth forum. I know it means quite a bit, quite something to us. So on Saturday, the program will be unveiling the speakers in the next, maybe in the next 1 day or two, the poster, and we'll be having something cut, just packaged to prepare you for Valentine. So you don't want to miss. You don't want to miss. So just, I think I'll not give you more details so that you can join the WhatsApp group and get more information from there and follow and see what we are doing. So just be tuned. I'll bring you some of the best guys in this area, and it will be the first. In fact, I'm planning to bring you a couple, and if not several of them, and to speak, some great wisdom around love and and Valentine and so on and so forth. Yeah, so it will be something revolving around love, and you will be definitely love relationship, definitely, and I want to believe it will be a great thing. So thank you very much. I don't want to say more, and I've already said a lot. God bless you so much. Number of WhatsApp group. Somebody has shared the WhatsApp group link. Yeah, I can share my number there. Okay, fine. Yeah, Angela, back to you. Let me, you can conclude my number. And thanks a lot, guys.
So thank you for tuning in today. May the Lord bless you. May the Lord keep you. May we make this world a different world, that people will truly know that there's change. Let's not complain. There are no jobs. When we can help connect people, let's be fruitful. Have a blessed night, and let's tune in the next time. God bless you, and good night.
Okay, good night too, and thanks a lot. Okay, somebody wanted to say something? Okay, fine. Tonight you do not get the anthem. Well, I'll try to play it. I'm not sure I can be able to do that over the phone. We usually have an anthem I play all the times. So now that I'm using I'm not using my laptop, I'm not so sure I'll be able to do this on phone, but I'll try. But you're free to leave. God bless you.
Okay. Bye-bye.